In September 2022, a 34-year-old army captain named Ibrahim Traoré shocked the world, leading a coup that toppled Burkina Faso's government in a single day. But why did he do it? What pushed this young soldier to risk everything and seize power in a nation crumbling under jihadist attacks? Buckle up, because we're diving into the explosive story of the 2022 coup, the betrayal, the chaos, and the reasons. Traoré made his bold move. Let's set the stage. Burkina Faso in 2022 was a country on the edge. Jihadist groups like Jenim and ISGS were tearing through the north, displacing 2 million people and controlling nearly 40% of the land. The government, led by President Roch Marc Christian Kabore, was crumbling under criticism for failing to stop the violence. Soldiers were under-equipped, morale was in the gutter, and the people were desperate for change. So, in January 2022, a group of army officers, including Traoré, backed a coup that ousted Kabore, putting Lieutenant Colonel Paul-Henri Sandaogo Damiba in charge. But here's the kicker. Damiba promised to crush the insurgency, but by September things were worse than ever. How did it all fall apart so fast? Keep watching to find out. Damiba's junta, called the Patriotic Movement for Safeguard and Restoration, or MPSR, came in with big promises: better security, more resources for the army, and a return to stability. Traoré, then a captain leading an artillery regiment in Kaya, a northern town hit hard by jihadists, was part of this movement. He'd fought on the front lines, seen his men die due to lack of gear, and believed Damiba would fix it. But months into Damiba's rule, the cracks started showing. Attacks kept rising. 11 soldiers were killed in a single ambush in Gaskinda. Just days before the coup, Traoré and other junior officers grew furious. They'd risked their lives for the January coup, only to see Damiba fail to deliver. Shocking fact. Traoré later said he tried to get Damiba to refocus on the rebellion, but Damiba's ambitions were diverting away from the mission. Some even whispered he was cozying up to foreign powers like France, which stirred anti-colonial anger among the troops. Was Damiba betraying the cause? The tension was building. Stay tuned for the spark that lit the fuse. By September 2022, Traoré and his allies in the military, including members of the elite Cobra unit, had had enough. They saw Damiba's leadership as a dead end. Jihadist attacks were relentless, and a devastating convoy attack in the north left 27 soldiers and 10 civilians dead, fueling their rage. Traoré, known for being close to his men and fearless in battle, was chosen to lead the charge. On September 30, 2022, in Ouagadougou, the capital, Traoré and his team struck. They stormed the state TV station, announced the coup, and ousted Damiba in a lightning-fast operation. Crowds cheered in the streets, waving Russian flags and chanting anti-France slogans, fed up with years of foreign influence. But here's the twist. Was Traoré really part of the Cobra unit, or was that just a rumor? Sources like BBC and Al Jazeera say yes, but Jeune Afrique claims he wasn't adding mystery to his role. What drove Traoré to take such a drastic step? Let's break it down. Traoré's reasons for the coup were clear, at least to him and his supporters. In a televised address on October 1, 2022, he called out Damiba's failure to tackle the insurgency, saying the situation had deteriorated and that promises weren't kept. He pointed to the lack of equipment, unpaid salaries for Cobra troops, and a government that seemed more focused on power than protecting its people. Traoré framed the coup as a desperate move to save Burkina Faso. He told government officials, "We didn't want this, but we had no choice." His words struck a chord with a population tired of violence and foreign control rallies, for Traoré even popped up in London, but not everyone was on board. Some senior officers loyal to Damiba saw Traoré as a reckless upstart and whispers of counter-coups started brewing. Shocking fact. Just a year later, in September 2023, Traoré narrowly escaped an attempted coup by elite officers, showing how shaky his grip on power was. But what did Traoré do next to cement his role? Don't blink, because the stakes only get higher. On October 6, 2022, Traoré was sworn in as interim president, taking the title of Supreme Chief of the Armed Forces and becoming the world's youngest leader at 34. He didn't waste time. He declared himself head of the MPSR. Junta promised to do in 3 months what Damiba couldn't in 8 and started shaking things up. He expelled French troops in 2023, accusing them of propping up instability, and turned to Russia for military support, a move that sparked both cheers and controversy. Demonstrators waved Russian flags, seeing Traoré as a new Thomas Sankara, the Marxist revolutionary who fought colonialism in the 1980s. But critics, especially in the West, called him a dictator in the making, pointing to his crackdowns on media like France 24 and Radio France Internationale. Shocking fact. In 2025, Traoré survived another coup plot, allegedly backed by Ivory Coast, proving he's walking a tightrope. Was Traoré's coup a bold move for Burkina Faso's freedom, or a risky power grab? You decide. This coup wasn't just about one man's ambition. It was a cry from a generation fed up with broken promises and foreign domination. Traoré, inspired by Sankara's legacy, positioned himself as a Pan-Africanist, vowing to reclaim Burkina Faso's sovereignty. His actions, from nationalizing gold mines to building alliances with Mali and Niger in the alliance of Sahel states, sent a message: Africa's future lies in African hands. But the challenges were massive jihadists still controlled huge chunks of the country, and Traoré's youth and lack of political experience made some doubt he could deliver. In 2025, while the IMF noted Burkina Faso's economy stayed robust with growth in farming, the insurgency remained a brutal reality with thousands killed and millions displaced. Did Traoré bite off more than he could chew? Stay with us to find out. In summary, the 2022 coup was Traoré's daring stand against a failing government, fueled by soldier frustration and a dream of a stronger Burkina Faso. From the streets of Ouagadougou to global headlines, his move sparked hope and debate. Don't forget, Day 3 is coming. Burkina Faso's fight for freedom. Traoré's vision for a new Africa. Thanks for watching, and catch you next time.